Welcome to the Calculus, a collection of micro lectures, video lessons, and sample exercises. Let's illustrate the logarithmic rule for antidifferentiation. Now, even if this is called logarithmic rule, we do not start yet with any function that has logarithm. This is actually a rule that will capture one of those exemptions for the rule involving rational expression. This is for the function where we have 1 over x. Let's talk about it later. Let's not forget that we talk about antidifferentiation. Let's not forget that for a certain function, let's say f of x, its antiderivative is this one here, capital function f of x, if it satisfies the situation that the derivative with respect to x of your capital letter function f of x will return to our function f of x. This means that this is really the antiderivative of the given function. For this video, we're just going to illustrate that rule, and we'll have some examples later on. This is what we call as the logarithmic rule. Okay? Logarithmic rule for antidifferentiation is not necessarily provided for logarithmic functions, but it is actually provided for the integral of our 1 over x dx. This is an example of a rational function which we actually mentioned before that is not possible for the rule of power, because if we're going to use here the power rule where we're going to come up with x to the power of -1 dx, and we're going to use the rule for that, meaning you have your x to the power of -1 plus 1 over -1 plus 1, your denominator would be 0, hence your function will be undefined. That is why we have the rule for this, and it's called logarithmic rule, because if we have situations like this where we have a function of 1 over x, where of course its exponent for x is just simply equal to 1, that's the, again, the what do you call this one, the restriction for the power rule. But if this is really equal to 1, we will have here the logarithm or natural logarithm of your denominator plus c. This is the logarithmic rule for antidifferentiation, again, which captures 1 over x, or the reciprocal of any variable with exponent of 1. Of course, let's try to show that here. Okay, let's prove that if we have here the derivative of your given result here would return to that, that means this rule is actually true. So we are going to talk about here the derivative of your given function, natural logarithm of your x plus c, and hopefully this will actually return to 1 over x, being this is actually our f of x as mentioned, and this would be our capital F of x. And with this in mind, if we're going to take the derivative of this, and if this would return to your f of x, which stands for 1 over x, then basically our logarithmic rule is true and will be used for further situations. Now, take note here that we can apply the rule for sum and difference. So we can break that one. You have the derivative of your x with respect to, derivative of your natural logarithm of x with respect to x plus the derivative of your c with respect to x, which would give us, for the second term, obviously that's just 0. Okay, the derivative of any constant with respect to variable x is actually 0. And what is this equivalent to? If we talk about the rule for differentiation or for derivatives, the derivative of the natural logarithm of x is just equal to 1 over x. You may want to review that as well in the previous discussions we talk about derivatives. So this is, in mind, equivalent to 1 over x, which is equivalent to your original f of x. This proves the logarithmic rule to be true. Again, this is designed for situations where we have a function here 1 over x, or simply the denominator or the exponent of the variable in the denominator is actually equal to 1, which is the restriction for our power rule. We are going to illustrate this further with some examples later on, but this video talks about that proof for logarithmic rule for antidifferentiation. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now!